Looking through some of my old columns that I wrote for the newspaper, I wrote a newspaper column for 9 years on relationships. I came across one that seems appropriate for this time of year. It's a week or two before Thanksgiving, and Christmas is coming up. The name of this one is called The Grumbling Hostess. I love Christmas. All the music and decorating, the baking and cookie making, the entertaining and socializing, the gift buying and the wrapping. I want to be part of it, all of it. Being involved in everything spreads Christmas cheer. But sometimes my cheerfulness is, well, less than cheery. Let me give you the story of that. November 13th, at Extension Club, I'm asked, April, we need 4 dozen cookies for the Festival of Trees delivered by 8 a.m. on November 28th. Can you do it? Sure, I replied. I love making cutout cookies and frosting each one with great detail. It's so artistic. But by 11:55 p.m. on November 26th, as I slap the last of the frosting on the last of the cookies, I'm grumbling. This is too much work. November 16th, my sister-in-law calls and asks, April, will you bring dessert for Thanksgiving dinner and then help with the cattle drive after lunch? Of course, I'll bring 2 desserts and a salad too. But after I hang up, I grumble. She and Grandma are the great cooks. My food is never as good. I hope it isn't cold that day and I don't step in any manure. November 19th, the office manager asked, April, can we have the office party for 20 people at your house on December 3rd? That would be great, I reply. I love to decorate the whole house fancy, and I love to cook the meal too. Later at home, I grumble, December 3rd? That's so early. How will I ever have the house all decorated? November 27th, my son asks, Mom, will you babysit Clark for 2 days while we pack and move? He might be grumpy. He has a cold. Of course, I respond. I adore him. We'll have a great time. 2 days later, I grumble. My knee and my back are killing me. Now I understand why you have toddlers when you're young. Where did this cold come from? December 4th, I call my mother. In a hoarse voice, I hear her say, Hi, honey, I've had a cold for 2 weeks. The doctor says it's bronchitis. Oh, Mom, I respond empathetically, that's awful. I'll bring you a box of candy and some flowers. 3 hours later, I grumble. It's great to look at old family pictures with Mom, but I really didn't have the time today. 2 hours later, at home, the phone rings. A friend on the line says, April, I'm so discouraged with work. Come over, I reply. Let's talk. But under my breath, I mumble, it is wonderful to spend time with friends, but what about the laundry and the dishes? They don't clean themselves. As a friend walks in the door, the phone rings. It's my daughter-in-law. Hey, Mom, I want to do my Christmas cards, but didn't keep the list you gave me last year. She says sweetly, could you bring an updated list to Rapid City by Friday? I almost scream, you didn't keep the list? But instead, I say sweetly, I can do that. Later, I grumble to my husband, what's the matter with young people today? The next day, another friend says, everyone is making a homemade gift for the club's Christmas gift exchange. You will too, won't you? When is it? I ask. I guess I could put something together. but I don't think I'll even be there. That night at home, grumbling about how tired I am, I flip open my inspirational quotes calendar. It reads, "Above all, love each other deeply, because love covers a multitude of sins. Offer hospitality to one another without grumbling." 1 Peter 4:8-9. I laugh. I'm an oxymoron, the emphasis on moron. The ultimate grumbling hostess, a hospitable grumbler. My never say no, do it perfectly, overdo it mania has done a hostile takeover on the spirit of Christmas for me. But I have learned my lesson. If I can't do something for someone without grumbling, I will improve my attitude or I will politely decline. A few days later at breakfast with friends, I tell them about the hospitable grumbler. I joke, it would make a great Saturday Night Live skit. A grumbling hostess politely takes guests' coats and drops them on the floor. Serving lunch, she slaps the plate down with a forced smile and says, "Enjoy your meal. It could be your last." My friends laugh and encourage me to write it. Then Donna asks, "April, could you do the skit for our Bible study?" Before I can stop myself, the words come tumbling out. "Sure, I'd love to. I always wanted to be an actress." But in my head, I'm grumbling, "Oh my God, what did I just do? Will I never learn?" That's all, for goodness sakes, by mean old Granny Anderson. Good night.